Class, welcome to week 4. Our two topics this week will be choosing a site builder and choosing a host. So we're really getting into the website build portion of the class. Your project 1 will be due this week. As a reminder, that one takes a little bit more time, so make sure you're on top of that. I hope you've all started it and are deep into it. If you have not started that, go ahead and jump on it right away. Then we'll also have project 2. And the assignments this week will really prepare you for project 2. So we'll jump into choosing a site builder. I want you to think of the difference between site building and hosting this way, because in some of the products that we'll study here, they'll actually come together in the same product, site building and hosting. But if you were building a physical business, a site builder is like your construction crew who's going to build the physical building, right, what people see. A host company is sort of like the company that sells you the land that you purchase on which you're going to build your physical building. A hosting company reserves, you're essentially purchasing space on their servers that are connected to the internet, and they reserve that space on their servers for you, on which you can code your website and assign a domain name to direct people to that place on their servers. So that's what you're getting when you purchase a hosting package. And as I mentioned, historically these were two separate things. You'd buy access to a site builder to help you construct your website, and then you'd have to build you'd buy a hosting package separate from that, and then you'd link the two. Now, as I'll show you here, many of these come together in a package deal. So first, site builders. When you're thinking about site builders, it's really how much technical expertise you want to learn or use in order to build your website. There's 3 options that we'll go through here. Number 1 is a drag and drop builder. That's the simplest kind. Number 2 is a content management system. It's kind of a mix where you can use templates, but you're still going to have some coding that goes into it. And then 3, you can custom make your own website if you'd like to build it from the ground up. So if you're thinking about drag and drop builders, the examples we have here are Weebly and Wix. For these, you purchase access. You purchase one of their site building packages, and these two specifically come with hosting included. You don't have to purchase a separate hosting package. So when you're purchasing any site builder access, make sure you read the details on that, on whether or not you need a separate hosting package. For Weebly and Wix, these are very common site builders, and they come with the hosting package included. And you'll go through and you'll choose a template, and so it pops up, and in the template, you put your website title here and your logo here, and you can have text here, and then you can drag and drop different elements. I want a picture here, I want a video here, I want text here. It's very user-friendly. These are designed for people who have never built a website before. Plus, there's tons of content online. There's YouTube videos about how to use Weebly or how to use Wix. So these are intended to be very user-friendly. If you haven't built a website before, I highly recommend one of those. Then we move on to content management systems. Again, this is a bit of a hybrid where you can choose from a pre-existing template, but you can't really customize a lot in Wix and Weebly beyond some changes in the layout. WordPress and Squarespace, Ionos, these content management systems allow you to customize the functionality a little bit more, do some cool tricks with the website, have a little bit more control over it. But you do need to know a bit of HTML and CSS if you're going to be successful with these site builders. So keep that in mind. I actually do not recommend students use WordPress, even though that is one of the most commonly used site builders out there. I just find that students have problems at a higher rate of frequency with WordPress than any other site builder course. You certainly can use WordPress. If you've used it in the past and you're comfortable with it, you are certainly able to do it. I'm not saying you can't use WordPress. I am saying I don't recommend it, particularly if you've never used it before. And then finally, if you'd like to build your own website with Dreamweaver or another platform, you may. I recommend only doing that if you've done it before and you love doing it. It's quite a bit of work. I've built a couple on Dreamweaver before. Great tool. It's very fun, in my mind, to build these from scratch because you can customize so much about the website. But it does obviously take a lot of time and effort that you'd need to expend to be able to do that. One question I'm getting more and more often is whether you could use a different site builder than those suggested here, or for instance, an AI-powered site builder. And the answer to that is yes. If you want to do your own research and find a different site builder than those suggested here, you're certainly welcome to. If you find a site builder that uses AI to build the website, so you prompt it and it builds the website on the back end, you can absolutely do that. Use whatever tools you can find at your fingertips. These are just some suggestions and a framework for you to follow as you're building your site. I skipped over the details of that assignment. Let me go back real quick. Your role is to do a quantify and compare spreadsheet. You should be very familiar with those now. Include 3 different site builders, so you have 3 alternatives, and you'll have at least 3 criteria, and then you will submit an essay that talks about which one you chose and why you chose it. That needs to be at least 150 words. So straightforward on the assignment. I think you'll spend more time researching than you do on the actual assignment. Assignment number 2 is choosing a host. This assignment doesn't have set hosts for you to look up. But remember, you only need to go choose a specific host separate from your site builder if you use something like WordPress and the content management systems. And some of the site builders do require a separate hosting package. So your options for this assignment, you'll do the same thing, quantify and compare spreadsheet with 3 alternatives and 3 criteria. One of those alternatives might be the same as your site builder because they're offering you a hosting package. But go ahead and do research on different hosting companies, what they offer. You'll see a lot of perks when it comes to hosting companies because what they offer is pretty ubiquitous. I have not had a lot of variation in the performance of my hosting companies. Their job is to make sure your website is live and running smoothly. And almost all hosting companies can achieve that across the board, unless they have some sort of internal issue that takes all their sites down for a period of time. So it's not, I don't see a lot of variation between hosts that way, but they will offer a lot of perks in order to get you to choose them. So that's maybe something that we want to pursue. But again, quantify and compare spreadsheet, meeting the guidelines in step 3, and then you'll submit a Word document that answers these questions in step 4. So this isn't so much an essay with a word length or a specific page length. This is just to answer these set of questions. So that will be your prepare assignment. You'll have your discussion boards, of course, and your reflection. We'll jump into project 2 just momentarily. There's a video on this, and so I don't like to use up too much of your time. I highly encourage you to watch the project 2 video. But you'll see there are 5 tasks. And what these amount to are three accomplishments you'll be graded on for this assignment. Number 1 is having an independent domain name. That means you need to purchase a domain name. It can't say .wix or .wixsites or .weebly or .wordpress in the URL of your website. It has to be an independent domain name that you purchased. That's really important for this, especially as we get into Google Ads and campaigns. Much of what we do there will require an independent domain name. So I'm looking for an independent domain name. I'm looking for the basic structure of the site. You don't have to have your color scheme polished and perfect. It doesn't need to look like a professional site right away. But I do need to know the basic design of your site. Where are the products going to go? Do you have a contact us page? The basic design needs to be laid out on this assignment. And then finally, the last thing I'll look for is there some sort of payment function? Is there some sort of way to generate revenue? That could be through an affiliate link. It can be through purchasing a product, anything like that. As long as there's some way to generate revenue on the site, then you've fulfilled that requirement. So again, the three requirements are an independent domain name, the basic structure of the site, and an active payment function or an active way to generate revenue on the site. And that will be it. So an exciting week as we kind of shift from idea generation over to building the actual website. Please reach out if you've got specific questions for me. Thanks, everyone.